In this video, I'm going to give you my top 10 favorite cake decorating tools. Hi, it's Karolyn. If you want to learn how to bake and decorate amazing cakes, then I would love for you to join me by hitting subscribe and the bell. In today's video, I'm just going to go over my 10 favorite cake decorating tools. These are tools that I use every single week, and I would not be able to do what I do without them. And I'm going to link all the tools that I mentioned or something similar in the description below. So let's get into the video. Do I need to stop saying that? I should stop saying that. I don't know what else to say though. So let's get into the video. All right, we're counting down from number 10. So number 10 is my bench scraper. I use this to smooth the icing on the outside of my cakes. And I have had this, I think I got this at like Bed Bath & Beyond probably 15 to 20 years ago. And it is very important that you get one that does not have a handle that sticks out above or below it, because you have to set it against the cake board to be able to smooth it out. So I love this one. I have many videos showing you how I heat this scraper to smooth the icing, and I will link those below. Number 9, my airbrush machine. Why did I do that? I have this Cake airbrush machine, and I have had this for about 15 years. I love this so much, and I'm gonna put it down. It's the Airmaster by Cake, and I will say this, it is a bit of an investment. However, once you have an airbrush machine, you are going to use it all the time. And I'm going to put a couple cakes over here that I use the airbrush machine on, so you could just see that it takes your cakes to the next level. It just makes them look so much better. And I will link it below in the description, but I do recommend that you just shop around to see different prices that you can find. But yeah, I absolutely love this. And you want to make sure with your airbrush that you also buy airbrush coloring. You can't use gel coloring in an airbrush machine, and all those will be linked in the description below. Number 8, my ball tools. I stinking love these things. And you know what's so funny? I have had these for years and I had no clue where I got them. And this is why I love YouTube, because somebody commented on one of my videos before when I said that I didn't know where they're from. And these are Sculpey ball tools. They're made for clay, but I love them because they're metal. They come in 3 sizes. There's a tiny one, a medium one, and a larger one. And I like to use these to thin out edges if I'm making ruffles, or to make dents into fondant and add detail. I use them all the time, and I have to say, once you use these metal balls, you're never going to go back to the plastic ones. The metal ones just glide over the fondant so much better. And also, these have like little rubber pieces on the ends, so this one comes to a point, this one's flat, and this one doesn't have one. I think it broke. I'm not sure what happened to it, but I think there's something supposed to be on the end of this one. So I just love these so much, and I will link them in the description below. Number 7, Mustang Ruler. I love this thing, and I need to shout out Sharon Zambito. She was one of my cake mentors, and she introduced me to this about 15 to 20 years ago. I love this tool, so I use it not only to quickly measure. I have to print out decorations on cake, so I'll measure my cake before I print out the decoration, or I also use it to fill my cakes. So I'm gonna make the Friends reference, and Chandler, there's a little nubbin on here. And what you do is you stick the ruler in the cake, and then you push the little nubbin down, and then you know how long to cut the supports. I have videos showing you how I use this, and I will link it in the description below. Numero 6 is my cake leveler, and I stinking love this thing. Listen, this particular one was discontinued a few years ago, and I bought like 10 of them. And this is my last one. I'm so sad. Although I have to say they make one that is very similar. What it is just this wire helps to level your cakes, and there's these little notches on the side, so you could just count down, like I'm the 5th notch from the top on this one, and you could just squeeze these together so you're able to move the wire, and then you can level your cakes. So this particular one is good for cakes up to 10 inches because it's 10 inches wide. Go put that down. if I have to level cakes that are bigger than 10 inches, I have a bigger one. I just don't know where it is. But I always like to use levelers. I've seen people just put their hand on the top and with a long knife, and there's no way that I'd be able to get it even. So a shout out to you if you could do that evenly, but I cannot. So that's why I recommend the leveler. Number 5, my heating core nails. I recommend these all the time. When I bake my cakes, I put one of these in the center of the pan, and this metal heats up and it bakes your cake from the center while the cake pan bakes your cake from the edges. So when you have a heating core in the center of your cake, when it's baking, it rises evenly and bakes more evenly. So I love these things. I have a ton of them. I never bake a cake without having a metal heating core in the center. Moving on to number 4. And I can't hold it because it's too big and it's all hooked up, but it is my edible printer system. I get all of my supplies from Icing Images. I love them so much, and I am now affiliated with them. I'm so excited. I'll put my affiliate link in the description below. And this is what I recommend. When I first started, and I still have the system, I got the entry-level platinum system, I believe it's called. And it comes with the printer, it comes with the ink cartridges, it comes with the cleaner, it comes with edible icing sheets. Everything you need to start comes in that package. And this is what I will say. An edible printer system is a bit of an investment, like an airbrush machine. However, once you have it, you're going to use it all the time. I highly, highly recommend making sure that you have quality products, because I've heard nightmare stories of people buying cheaper icing sheets. The icing sheets stick to the backing, they fall apart, they rip, and it's a nightmare. You want your edible printer to work correctly. You just want to invest in a good system. And I will also link some videos showing you how I use it. Number 3, and I use this all the time, my ribbon cutter. What you do, you unscrew the end, and I'm gonna make the Chandler reference again. This piece has a little nubbin on it. Do you remember the Friends episode with Chandler with his nubbin when he had his 3rd nipple and he was like, it's my nubbin. So anyway, the disc has a little nubbin on one side and it's flat on the other side, and there's these like pieces in here. So you can decide how wide you want the ribbon to be by just putting it together and screwing the end on and just rolling it out, and you cut your ribbons. I use this every time I make a cake. I love this, and this is another shout out to Sharon Zambito because she introduced me to this years ago, and I use it all the time. Number 2. My Exacto knives. I love these. It doesn't have to be Exacto brand, but any kind of small knife with the sharp blade on it. I will say I like to replace the blades probably about weekly, because they can get dull. If they're dull, then it doesn't cut as sharp. And I just love these. I use it all the time. I don't even know how you can make cakes without using these. If you don't use these, please let me know what you use. But I hand cut a lot of my lettering and a lot of my decorations, and I just have a bunch of these that I like to use. So I recommend Exacto Knives, and I'm not going to say they're going to be linked. I just recommend them. Look below. And my number 1 top tool, and I know you know what I'm going to say if you watch my videos, is my Dresden Tool. This is my DT, my Dresden Tool. Both ends curve up, right? One end comes to a point, one end is flatter, and my technique of making decorations, I trace them onto the fondant, and I'm able to get deeper detail with this tool. I love it so much. And the issue is, this is from Wilton, and it's difficult to find. So what I'm gonna do is I will find the link to this. It's not always in stock on Amazon. So what it is, it comes as part of a set. It's the Wilton 5-piece fondant gum paste tool set. And there's a bunch of other tools that come in it, but I only get it for this one. I bought a few the last time because I love it, and I can't ever not have it in case it breaks. So I have a few spares. However, if you can't get this particular one, I have other ones. Look at them. So these are the other ones that I see all the time that I link, and they are slightly different. This one, the flat end doesn't come to much of a point, but this one, this end has a point to it. So this one is still good. And then there's also this black one, but the handle is so thin that I put a piece of pipe insulation around it so I can hold on to it a little easier. But these two are very good as well. And I will find them. I will link all of the Dresden tools that I can find in the description below. If you click on the link for this one and it's not in stock, I would say to save the link and keep checking, because they do get it back in stock, or just get one of these other ones as well. But I cannot live without my Dresden tool. I love this thing. So there you go. There are my top 10 cake decorating tools that I cannot live without. I'd love to hear from you. What do you guys use all the time that is your favorite? Because I'm always up to try new things, and I'd like to see different tools out there maybe that I'm not using that I could benefit from. So I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And you can follow me on social media and check out my website. It's listed in the description below as well. And if you want to stick around, you can watch these two videos next and hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't already. Please like this video if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's cake. Have fun. I will see you on the next one. Bye.